So I have found the perfect controller settings that'll have your aim looking like this.
Wait.
Your mechanics looking like this. And overall help you stop switching controller settings every week because you just can't find the perfect settings for you. So if you're serious about improving a controller in Fortnite OG, then make sure you watch this entire video because I'm going to be telling you everything the pros want in Fortnite OG. And if you guys appreciate me giving you this top tier information, come to the item shop and use my code DISC in the Fortnite item shop. It really means the world to me, and shout out to every single person using my code. So first I want to hop into the controller settings that I'm actually going to be going over, as well as help you guys find your perfect settings. And just for my credentials, I have over $30,000 in earnings. So these are the exact settings you guys need to be using as a controller player. All right, so the first thing you see right here is that I'm always in full screen mode. If you guys play controller on PC, you need to always make sure that you are on full screen because playing in either windowed or windowed full screen affects your frames a lot, and you don't want that, especially during fights. And obviously I play on native, but the second thing I really want to talk about is your frames per second. Now, I hate to break it to you guys, but if you guys are currently on the old gen, either the Xbox One X or the PlayStation 4, you guys need to either get the Xbox Series S or the PlayStation 5 so you can advance from 60 FPS all the way to 120, because I simply hate to break it to you guys, if you guys are still playing at 60 FPS, you are at a severe disadvantage from the other 99% of Fortnite players who are either on PC or on next-gen consoles. But if you're like me and play controller on PC, you need to have your frames per second at whatever hertz your monitor allows. Meaning, if you have a 144 hertz monitor, then you should leave your frames per second capped at 144 hertz, because that's all the monitor can support in the first place. And if you have it on anything above what your monitor hertz is set at, it's actually going to give you a slight input delay that could cause you to lose an engagement that you normally wouldn't, especially like in an end game in a tournament. And again, if you're trying to go pro, you need every advantage you can get. For my graphic settings, I actually play on performance mode, or also known as mobile builds. And I do this simply because I personally like the way it looks. And it also gives me a huge frame advantage if I'm fighting someone who's either on DirectX 12 or DirectX 11. For my brightness, I'm currently playing at 100%. Now, I know some people then put this all the way to max, but me personally, I like 100. It's a very nice sweet spot, but I definitely would not go anywhere under 70% because obviously in Fortnite, you want to see those bright, vibrant colors because it allows you to see your enemies from a further distance. And stuff like that is crucial, especially in tournaments. For my colorblind mode, I currently play on Tritanope 8, and this really helps me see my enemies in Storm, which plays a huge role if you're playing in ranked or tournaments, especially in Fortnite OG. So if you guys end up trying it, let me know how you guys like it. I personally love it the most. I either switch it from Tritanope 8 or Tritanope 10, somewhere between those two. And moving on to the actual graphic settings, as you guys can see, every single thing is ticked on off or low. And the reason I don't have that many options is, again, because I'm on performance mode. But you guys will notice right here that the only thing that's ticked up is my view distance. And I have that actually on far just because almost every other pro player has it on far as well. Because if you turn it on epic, it can cause some type of frame drop, but of course it really doesn't matter, so I have mine on far. Moving on to the game settings, as you guys can see, I actually have toggle sprint turned off because I like to be able to use my disgusting controller movement to really throw people off. It really does make a difference if you're in a build fight or if you're in zero build to like stray away for some bullets. I'm gonna go over this later in the video for the preferred item slots, but the number one thing that most controller players fault on is auto confirm edits. If you're a controller player, you absolutely need to have auto confirm edits turned off, and here's why. So let's just say I'm in an actual game and this is a real opponent on the other side of this ramp in my box. Well, if I have auto confirm edits on, all I have to do is simply this and it will automatically edit for me. But the reason 99% of controller players have that turned off is simply because so they can time whenever they want to confirm their edit. So for example, I could literally do this, jump and then confirm and get an easy kill on my opponent, and he will literally have no idea when I'm going to edit it. And having auto confirm edits on can easily get you killed or pumped in the face because you as the player can't control when you can confirm your edits, especially in box fights. But moving on to the other settings that you guys need to do if you want to increase your PC's performance. So if you come down to replays, you guys need to have all of these turned off right here, including record replays. Now I tend to keep mine on just in case I run into another streamer and I kill them so I can get their reaction. But if I didn't care about that, I would definitely turn this off because keeping these on really does affect your frames, especially in late game. So definitely turn these off. And if you guys are on PC and you go down here, you will see a energy saving mode. Now you guys need to make sure that these are both turned off because they both use extra frames as well, which is actually terrible in game. Moving on to my HUD, I play on cumulative for my damage numbers and hit only, so it doesn't constantly add up all the numbers and potentially block my eyesight from an enemy, which could lead me to miss shots, which is obviously horrible in Fortnite. For my HUD scale, I have it on 90% as well. I would put this lower if I did play comp and didn't like record for YouTube videos or TikToks, but since I do that, I want to make sure you guys can see what my loadout looks like and what I'm doing in game, so I have it on 90. And here are all my HUD options if you guys want to copy that. Here are my gyro aiming sensitivities. I don't think anyone uses this. If you guys do, please let me know down in the comments below, but I never use this. It's horrible. And here are the official settings that you guys have been looking looking for, and I'm also going to tell you how to find the perfect controller settings for yourself. First things first, I personally do not like controller auto run. I feel like it can really get you fried, especially if you're just running stationary. So I always just like to be moving left or right, or just some like awkward movement to throw my opponent's aim off guard. Build immediately, builder pro, always going to be ticked on. My edit hold time is obviously on the lowest it can be because you want to be able to edit as fast as possible. And for my slide hold time, I have this on 0.115. Now I know some people that have it all the way down here to 0.01 or all the way up to 0.25. Now me personally, I have found that 0.115 is a perfect mixture for me because like I said, I like to have that perfect controller movement. Now I know someone like Faceway, he uses this, the default one, 0.150. But if you guys hate sliding, then I would definitely recommend you guys having it tuned all the way up because I know some people who accidentally slide all the time and it really annoys them. But if you really want to unlock that demon controller movement, I say anywhere from here to like around here is the perfect setting that you guys should be using. My reset camera axis is on pitch. My reset camera time is all the way low, of course. Vibration obviously needs to be turned off. If you guys are still using vibration in 2023, what are you doing, bro? That controller vibration could literally cause you to miss shots, which is actually horrible, obviously. So make sure you guys turn that bad boy off. Quick weapon beta, I like the idea. I really like what Epic tried to do here. But unfortunately for us controller players, I feel like we're just gonna have to keep clicking the bumpers to get to our individual gun because this setting's really not that good and it honestly gets me killed a lot while using it. And for my sensitivity, this is just for me as well. So me personally, if I'm in a build fight, I like to kind of build and edit fast, which is why both my look sensitivity and my aim sensitivity is both on 4.4. My build mode sensitivity multiplier is on 2.1 and my edit mode sensitivity multiplier is on 2.2. And that's simply again because I really like to have that fast flicky edits and builds when I'm build fighting someone. I feel like it gives me the advantage on them if I move faster than them with more calculated edits. But if you guys don't like that, I know a lot of pro players who play actually at 1.1 right here and they actually bump this up to like 2.5, I believe. And I also know people who play on 5.5 or 6.6 and then they lower the build and edit mode sensitivity multiplier. Again, it's all on personal preference. Are you a faster type player, want to react fast, or are you more of a slow and controlled player? It all comes down to personal preference. For my look horizontal speed, I have that on 44 and my vertical speed on 43. And listen guys, turn off boost. If you guys have any type of boost, I want to emphasize this so much. If anybody has told you to turn on boost, they are lying to you. Make sure every single boost, it doesn't matter if it's for aiming, building, whatever, turn controller boost off. No good controller player uses it. It's horrible. For my ADS in Fortnite OG, I'm currently using 12.12 and I have been accused of using aimbot by so many people this season. It's actually unreal. I do play on linear just because I just feel like exponential is a blast from the past. I personally think linear is the overall best setting between exponential and linear. I still have aimbot and my builds are just way more crispy and smooth, but obviously it's up to personal preference. 5.5 dead zone, and here are my controller binds. You guys actually didn't know, if you take a look right here, I actually ADS with L1 and I shoot with R1, and that's simply because I play claw. So when I'm shooting, I aim like this and then I shoot like this, and then I swap my weapons between L2 and R2, as you guys can see right here. Let me know if you guys do that down in the comments below. But here are my edit binds and confirm as well. I edit with triangle, confirm with circle, and I actually reset with L1. Let me know your guys edit binds down in the comments below. I'm very curious. I might even try some out for a video, who knows. The next thing I want to talk about is how to set up your loadout as a controller player. And the reason this is so important as a controller player is because you want to make sure you can get to the right weapon as fast as possible, especially when you're fighting someone. So everyone knows as a controller player, you have to manually click the bumper like 4 or 5 times to get to the weapon you currently want to. So to set up your loadout, just like all the other controller pros, simply go into your settings and then go into the game portion of your settings and then scroll down until you see the preferred item slots, then click continue. Your first slot as a controller player should always be your shotgun, because on your controller, when you're building or when you're editing, or if you're trying to take a wall, if you simply take the wall like this and click your first bumper, it's going to pull out whichever gun is first, which obviously always needs to be your pump shotgun. So when you take that wall, you can easily edit it, piece them, or pump them in the fade. And pretty much every single pro controller player in the game has their loadout looking something like this, with heals and mobility in the middle, because that gives them the biggest advantage, especially over keyboard players. And the same goes with your AR. Say I have my pickaxe out building and I get sprayed in the back by an enemy. All I have to do is simply click my left trigger and I automatically have my assault rifle out ready to beam my opponent who just shot at me. And if you haven't noticed, every single pro controller player has their submachine gun right after their pump shotgun in their loadout. Because take this bot, for example, if I simply miss my shot with the pump shotgun or run out of ammo, I can easily switch my submachine gun and finish off the kill just like this, which is obviously crucial if you're in a tournament or just facing a good player in general, because everyone knows the controller players are at a severe disadvantage, especially in a box fight against a keyboard player. So that's why you want to have your loadout just like that, with the final 2 middle slots being your consumable items such as your big pot or minis, and the last one being your utility items such as your grappler or your shockwaves.